Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is the big man Boisterous coming to you with part 2 of Gold League Goodiness between our two players, HeReTiC, the red Zerg, and Runek, the blue Protoss. As the second portion of this game ended, we saw some pretty intense Dark Templar harass, snipe the third, but then get cleaned up without an issue due to the Overseers that are already out on the map and just scattered all around. We do have these players going for basically Mutalisk Zergling against Dark Templar Phoenix, which are two extremely, I don't want to say bad, but not optimum unit compositions, especially against each other, because Mutalisks wreck Dark Templar. Zerglings run right past Phoenixes. However, at the same time, Dark Templar wreck Zerglings and Phoenixes wreck Mutalisks. It's not even really a triangle, it's just some sort of odd polygon of everything owning everything else. And you know, it's a pretty funny game so far, to be perfectly honest. These Zerglings are actually +0/+2, so they can easily snipe expansions that just run in and just target fire this Nexus until it dies. And these Zerglings will be able to kill it pretty freaking fast, especially if they get the adrenal glands. If they get adrenal glands, they'll just be dead. These Zerglings, you know, it'll take like 5 seconds for a group of Zerglings encircled around a Nexus to take out the Nexus. But, you know, at the same time, this is quite a few Phoenixes, and this is quite a few Dark Templar. This is definitely a pretty scary army, especially if he uses these Phoenixes and just, you know, picks off this Overseer, picks off this Overseer, picks off any other Overseer that comes into the fight. Then the Dark Templar have free reign, and without the Overseers to spot their enemies, these Dark Templar will absolutely clean up his opponent. So I think he should also be going for some sort of like Spore Crawler defense nearer the front. And we do have the Zerglings running in, and they're going for the Photon Cannons. You don't want to go for the Photon Cannons. Going for the Photon Cannons gives your opponents time to react. Just go for the Nexus. Why are you going for the Pylons? Go for the don't go for the probes. The Pylon Cannons behind the mineral line. Those don't matter. Oh god. Oh, HeReTiC. His entire army is going to get demolished, except for these Mutalisks, which did exceptionally well against the Phoenixes. But still, HeReTiC. Oh god. Oh, so many DTs with so many kills. Let's just look at this one at 2. Actually, alright, let's see. There has to be a high kill DT in here. Where is he? Oh, there's 8. That's a pretty nice kill count. There's 5. 2. So all these DTs have at least 1 kill, and that's pretty major. Those Zerglings got absolutely destroyed. None of these DTs even took damage due to the fact that there's no Overseer, and they're coming back up here to finish the job. Oh god, Runek is doing actually a whole lot of damage to HeReTiC with these just constant harassments. HeReTiC has not been allowed to get a third up, whereas Runek has had his for quite a bit actually. He's not quite effectively spending all of his money, but that's because he's going for 2 pretty gas heavy units. Phoenixes aren't amazingly gas heavy, but they're reasonably gas heavy. Actually, did I miss DTs dropping in? Damn, I didn't think I would miss something like that, but I did. So I'm pretty sure DTs dropped in on this layer and got the hive down to nearly half health as it was morphing in, which is pretty major. And these DTs are Mutalisks don't care. Man, these things are like the honey badgers of the sky. We do have Photon Cannons coming out. Runek, you know, he's maintaining pretty well. He's doing pretty good. I think he should really start dropping off of this Phoenix type play. He doesn't need it. He needs Stalkers and Archons, or even just Zealot Archon, because this is like 9 Archons just waiting to be made. Just, you know, hit the C button, hold it down for a little bit, get Archons, crush your opponent. With Zealot Archon, this, you know, this Mutalisk play be nothing. Especially if you just get turtles up with Photon Cannons, which you can pretty easily do with a gold. Actually, you can amazingly easily just cover this entire plateau with Photon Cannons. And if this entire thing is covered in Photon Cannons, your enemy is going to need Broodlords to take it out. And actually, Archon Chargelot is surprisingly good against Broodlord. I'm not saying it's the best counter, it's good. it does not die a whole lot. It looks like the Mutalisks are going to come over here, see the DTs, and just absolutely destroy their faces. And these Mutalisks, HeReTiC is actually pretty far ahead in upgrades, I think. Yeah, these DTs are 0-0-0. The Phoenixes are 0-1, so they do have one attack upgrade, but that doesn't really matter against 2-1 Mutalisks. And upgrades for Mutalisks scale amazingly well, because not only do the Mutalisks have such a high number usually for most Mutalisk balls, like this one is nearing 24, I think, if I'm counting right. Actually, well, it's closer to 18 right now. Yes, 18. But that's really it. You know, he's kind of buffing out like 56 Mutalisks, if I just multiplied that by 3 correctly, 54, because Mutalisks hit 3 times whenever they attack. They have that bouncing strike, and this DT is just going to get surrounded, and that's a scary way to die. Just have a pack of Zerglings run around you so that you can't move, and as you slice them apart, you see the Overseer coming, and you're like, ah, I had a good life. Man, that DT was really wistful in my voice. Looks like we have Phoenixes coming in, more DTs. That's a lot of DTs. This is a lot of DTs. I'm surprised he hasn't made a move with all these DTs, since he basically knows the entire army is out on the map. And if he can sneak by well enough, he can snipe off the Hive, the Infestation Pit, and the Spawning Pool. And the Hive, the Infestation, and the Spawning Pool are important. Really, really, really important. It does look like we are going to have Mutalisks coming out here and basically absolutely destroying this third. Runek really needs to put his foot, just stomp his foot on the metal and just do something. He can't be passive anymore. This Zerg Mutaball is way too effective against his army. He really needed to get those Stalker numbers out earlier, preferably before this Mutaball even got this big, so that he could have just quashed it. But, you know, the Mutaball is that big. There's no denying it. It looks like these Zerglings are going to be going after the DTs, and are they going to clean them up? I think they are. Yep, DTs are going to go down, despite how valiantly they fought. But there is a ton of DTs just, you know, scrolling around the map. I think we have 8 and 4 in each of these packs separately, with them just, you know, randomly splitting off, because unit pathing in StarCraft 2 is interesting to say the least, and they will just occasionally take 2 very extremely long elongated routes around the same group of rocks to end up at the same location. We do have the DTs going in and already splitting to get around that hatchery. It looks like this army, well, it's not really even an army, it was 5 Zerglings, but they're going to get cleaned up pretty effectively. Is he going to go for the Spire? He is going for the Spire, so it looks like all the Mutalisks are going to be forced to pull back. I think he really needed to get those Phoenixes out onto the field, basically just as Overseer snipers, because Overseer sniping Phoenixes are pretty freaking good against an enemy that is, you know, he can only make Overseers for detection, really. That's basically the only detection that Zerg can have. And Overseers, although they are pretty beefy, they have 200 armor. That's only like 4 shots from 10 or more Phoenixes. And that's usually what you have, is 10 or more Phoenixes in a group. So that's really what you want. And we do have Runek going for the standard Phoenix or Stalker play, but, you know, I think the Zerg is taking too much of a lead here. The Zerg is going for another base. He has, you know, he's plenty of Overlords out. He's way ahead on tech at this point, I think. Even though Runek has all of this tech here, it's not beefy enough. He needs that Colossi type of play to really hold off this army effectively. He needs a Colossi. He needs a Colossi Stalker Deathball at this point, or he will absolutely get his mind torn out in every major engagement. So really, the only tip that I have for Runek in this game is that DT Phoenix, kind of good unit comp. It's not even really the best unit comp, but even then, it's only good for so long. And eventually, your opponent's army, which is, you know, an actual unit comp in Ling Muta, is kind of a legit unit comp. It's more harassy and more aggressive, but it is kind of legit unit comp. And eventually, it'll just completely completely flood your defenses, and you'll be absolutely gone. And we do have an Overseer coming over here just, you know, be a little bit BM, just have the overseer here and be like, yeah, that's right, I can see you. Yeah, if you popped out a mothership right now, I wouldn't have any issues. All my Zerglings can still see your buildings. That's right. We do have Cybernetics Core getting target fired, and these Zerglings just run around. And Runek is surprised you made overseers before I revealed DTs. But Runek, you have to remember, this is post patch 1.4. These overseers only cost 50/50. That's really a major thing that Protoss needs to start remembering now. Any Protoss that wants to go for that sort of DT play is that overseers are cheap now. They are not a major investment. You can just say, all right, I'm gonna, you know, I can prepare pretty extensively for Overlords, or for Dark Templars, excuse me, just by getting that one overseer. And I'm gonna get that one overseer, and I will be safe. That is my strategy. That's my plan. Is I'm gonna get that overseer. I will be safe. So that's really what I think a lot of Protoss needs to start remembering now. Other than that, this was a pretty good game. We had both of them going for reasonably odd macro styles, especially Runek with that Phoenix Dark Templar composition. It almost worked for him. I think if he had been a bit more aggressive with his DTs, he would have won that. If he had been able to shut down that natural, it would have been over. The Zerg had a lot of stockpiles, but you know, without the natural, like if he had even shut down the natural hatchery and the Spire, would have been done. There would have been nothing left of his army. But anyway, guys, if you want to watch many more of the games I have casted, head on over to youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2. Also, if you want any of your games to be casted, send them on in to boisteroussc2@gmail.com. Also, there will be a link to my Battle.net thread, so if you guys want to support me, head on over and post, you know, feedback, questions, concerns, random crap that just popped into your head. Really anything. I appreciate all of your continuing support as I try to break out into this caster world. So just keep tuning in every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday as I keep pumping out this new content. Anyway, guys, this is Boisterous signing out.